U.S. appeals court refused Thursday to put a hold on the extradition of two men wanted by Japan on accusations that they helped smuggle former Nissan boss Carlos Ghosn out of the country in a box in 2019. The Boston-based First U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals rejected an emergency petition to halt Michael and Peter Taylor's extradition to give them time to challenge a lower court ruling. The U.S. government has said it could surrender the men to Japan as early as Friday, according to in a brief ruling. The First Circuit said the Taylors failed to show they are likely to succeed on the merit. An email seeking comment was sent to an attorney for the Taylors. Lawyers for the Taylors say the men cannot be extradited because bail jumping is not a crime in Japan and, therefore, helping someone evade their bail conditions isn't a crime. Their lawyers believe the men will be subjected to mental and physical torture in Japan, describing its criminal justice system as akin to that of an authoritarian. Michael Taylor, a former Green Beret and private security specialist from Massachusetts, and his son are being sought by Japan so they can be tried on allegations that they Ghosn's daring escape from the country while he was out on bail and awaiting trial on financial misconduct. The elder Taylor was allegedly paid $1.3 million to help stash Ghosn in a box and transport him from Japan. Michael Taylor said in an interview with the Associated Press this month that he fears they will be treated unfairly in the Japanese legal system and feels betrayed that the U.S. would try to turn him over to Japan after his service. You dedicate your time in the military and you serve in combat and you do a whole bunch of other things, Michael Taylor said. Share this article, share, and now they volunteer to extradite me and my son to Japan for something like this? Yeah, you feel a great sense of betrayal. The Taylors' defense team had lobbied the Trump White House to step in. The father and son hired two high-powered attorneys with connections to former President Donald Trump, Abby Long, who has represented Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and Ty Cobb, a former Trump White House attorney, in the hopes the case would catch Trump's attention before Taylor had hoped President Joe Biden's administration would take a fresh look at the case, but the White House has not commented. My father is in his mid-80s now. We're going to get over there and I'm not going to be here for my father's last days, which he'd like to be obviously. His grandson would like to be as well, Michael Taylor said. Don't you think we've been punished enough already? In court papers this week, the U.S. Justice Department called the claims in the Taylors' bid to block the extradition unprecedented and meritless and noted that they had already been rejected by other judges. A DOJ spokesperson said anyone extradited to Japan to be tried for alleged crimes committed there will be afforded all due process and other rights typically available to all defendants facing criminal charges in Japan. The U.S. Department of State agreed in October to hand the pair over to Japan, but a Boston federal court judge put the extradition on hold after their lawyers filed an emergency. The judge rejected the petition last week, clearing the way for the extradition. Before the lawyers appealed to the Taylor has refused to discuss the details of the case because of the possibility he will be tried in Japan, but he insisted that his son wasn't involved and was not in Japan. Prosecutors have described it as one of the most brazen and well-orchestrated escape acts in recent history. Ghosn wired more than $860,000 to a company linked to Peter Taylor shortly before the escape, and Ghosn's son later made $500,000 in cryptocurrency payments, authorities said. On the day of the escape, Michael Taylor flew into Osaka on a chartered jet with another man, George Antoine Sayek, carrying two large black boxes and pretending to be musicians with audio equipment, authorities said. Ghosn's escape came as he was awaiting trial on allegations that he underreported his future income and committed a breach of trust by diverting Nissan Motor money for his personal gain. He headed to the Grand Hyatt in Tokyo and met up with Peter Taylor, who was already in Japan, authorities said. The elder Taylor and Sayek met up with the two others at the Grand Hyatt, and shortly after, Peter Taylor hopped on a flight to China authorities got on a bullet train and went back to another hotel near the airport, where Taylor and Zayak had booked a room. They all went in. Only Ghosn's rescuers were seen walking out. Authorities say Ghosn was inside one of the big blocks. At the airport, the boxes passed through a security checkpoint without being checked and were loaded onto a private jet headed for Turkey. Ghosn, who led Nissan for 2 decades, rescuing it from near bankruptcy, denies any wrongdoing. He said he fled because he could not expect a fair trial, was subjected to unfair conditions in detention and was barred from meeting his wife under his bail condition. He is now in Lebanon, where he has citizenship but which has no extradition treaty with Japan. Over the years, the elder Taylor has been hired by parents to rescue abducted children, gone undercover for the FBI in a sting on a Massachusetts drug gang, and worked as a contractor for the U.S. military in Iraq and Afghanistan. And this isn't the first time he has found himself in legal trouble. In 2012, federal prosecutors alleged Taylor had won a U.S. military contract to train Afghan soldiers by using secret information passed along from an American officer. When Taylor learned the contract was being investigated, he asked an FBI agent and friend to intervene. Prosecutors charged Taylor spent 14 months in jail before agreeing to plead guilty to 2 counts.